Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'd like to welcome everyone to the show. This your boy Charles Gregory with the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle.
and the beautiful. Look like you on mute, classy lady. I don't hear you.
Classy lady Sparkle, can you
There
hear
she
me
go.
now?
There you go. We can hear you now. And
That's
you're watching and listening to We Talk Weeklies after we talk on WPP MLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies after the talk, and we have a dynamic show for you today. Of course, we have an interview. I'm anticipating this interview. We're going to talk a little bit about some food and talk about this young lady's voyage to success. We're going to got a little good news and bad news. We also have the Sizzle. And of course, we got some music, we got some sports, we have a little bit of everything today. We have a jam-packed show. So I don't want you guys to go anywhere, but before we get into anything, ladies and gentlemen, why don't you guys tell me, Sizzle, how was your day? How was your day?
Long, and long. I had a long day, busy day at work. And I just wanted to throw this out there. I will be going, I'm going to be going back to school. Remember, I made my announcement a couple weeks ago. I'm going to be going back to Temple. Shout out to TU. My TU alum. Shout out to all of y'all. I'm going to be going back. So I had started selling paparazzi. I'm a paparazzi. I'm not a queen yet because I got to get my feet in. But I'm a paparazzi princess for now. So, and y'all can hit me up. If you want to paparazzi, this is paparazzi, by the way.
So that's cute. They do have some cute stuff.
Yes, they do. And it's only $5. And you will be supporting my education because I'm going to be using that to offset the cost of my tuition. So.
Well, Jacoby said, proud of you, happy for you.
Yes,
no doubt. That's good.
We Talk Weekly doing some big things.
That's right. That's right.
Big things are going. Mark doing some big things too.
That's right. Absolutely. So, classy lady, how would you think? Talk to me.
It wasn't too bad. I just know that outside of what I do for this, like Sizzle, I can't do it no more. Like I had to get called off the cliff. I was like, yo. So, but other than that, I mean, we got a storm coming towards us. That's why, we're not in the studio today. But other than that, I can't complain. Yeah, what's up with you, C?
Just another day, another dollar. I'm just excited for the show, preparing for the show. Ladies and gents, if you're out there, it's about to be windy. They're talking about some hell. They're talking about rain. They talking about winds. Make sure you are booked in. Make sure you staying safe, taking care of yourself in those times. Close those windows. Look like okay, no doubt. Man, until she jumped on, she said, that's that educated sister.
That's right.
No doubt. That's always dope.
Shout out to Madam Touch.
Yeah, we miss her.
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yes.
She's doing some big things. I've been seeing her doing some, some good stuff out there too. You know what I'm saying? Cole said, okay, see, so you already know. We're doing some things, we're doing some big things, and I'm excited for everybody who are pursuing their goals and dreams, especially if you're trying to get out that 9 to 5, that rat race. But I love the pivot that everybody has been doing. They're making some moves, and I think that this pandemic forced a lot of people's hands. And there are some good things that came out of the pandemic. So I'm excited about that. I made a pivot. Everybody made a pivot. We're just doing some big things.
People got that PUA. People got them PP. That's what that pivot of the
Except us.
Yeah.
Except us.
Right.
So reach out to Retalk Weekly if you know somebody that got those PPPs that can really support a business. All right.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna take no shots, but
they could slide on into that Cash App.
Yeah, no doubt.
Or the DM.
Yeah.
No doubt. So without further ado, man, it looks like our guest is on today, and I'm super excited. This sister, man, I've been hearing a lot of things about this sister, and hopefully we get a nice chance to talk. I have an in-depth conversation with her, and without further ado, classy lady, tell me who do we have today?
Sure. Today we have Chef Monica Blends. Chef Monica Blends is something that your mouth has never experienced. Chef Monica is joining us tonight to talk about her special spices, her healthy meals, the current projects that she's working on, and why is it so important to bring the family back to the table again. Let's give a warm We Talk Weekly welcome to Chef Monica.
Chef Monica. Hey, there
Hey,
she go.
is she in the kitchen?
Yes. I wish I was there.
I love it.
What's up, Philly? What's up?
What's up?
Yes.
Hey. Look, thank y'all so much for having me up there in Philly. I am so excited to be here. I am Chef Monica, and I am from down south. So if I stretch those vowels out too long, that's why you can't understand the word that I'm saying. That's all. But yes, thank you so much for having me there. And I just want to say, I used to spend my summers up there for a little
Okay.
bit. Yeah, my aunt is from Philly. She was
Wow.
a teacher. Yes, she was a teacher at Lowenbaum Middle School. They
Yeah.
were in Cedarbrook and oh gosh, Cedarbrook and I forgot where else. There's another part in Philly where they were from.
Shelton
But
hand.
yeah, I used
Yeah.
somewhere up there, and they stayed on. Look, don't get me to lying, because in a minute I'm gonna start making up streets. Because see, down south, we'll tell you some streets to turn down, and we'll be like, oh no, girl, just turn at that yellow house on the corner over there,
Mhm.
18 instead. See, that's how we do it. But thank y'all so much for having me here. It is a
Absolutely.
pleasure and an honor. I've been checking y'all out. Y'all have some good fun up in there.
Yeah, we had some great
Yeah.
fun over here. But you're here with us today, and you're going to have some fun with us today. So I'm super excited to have you on. And I want to talk a little bit about food and some of the things that you're doing. You have a lot of projects that's going on, and I'm super excited to hear about those and how you started those and what encouraged you to do that. But before we go there, I just need to know what got you into, preparing and developing and making, some food. What got you into, that whole kind of scope of, chef and cooking?
Well, down south, I think my story kind of starts off kind of like everybody else. You start out in the kitchen, you start out with your grandmother, you start out cooking with your aunts, your uncles, and you get in there, you at the cookout, you're running around in the kitchen. And my grandmother, uh, my mother's mother, started me cooking eggs at 6. I'm that kid. I'm the one that used to kind of get into trouble. I was the one that, I didn't mind, getting my tail twisted. I was the one who wanted that attention, but I didn't want the bad attention. But I like being the one that's saying I'm a little teapot and all this other good stuff. But when I learned that I could cook and everybody, that attention came to me, and I was like, oh man, I can cook and get some good attention. People like what I'm doing. Oh, this will work. So she taught me how to cook eggs at 6 years
Mm.
old. And I thought, wow, this will work. I can do this. So at 6, that's kind of like when it all started coming to me. Well, as you grow older, you start cooking a little bit here, a little bit there. And I remember when I made mac and cheese, I think I was like 12 or 13 or something. I'll never forget when I cooked it. And this is the funny part. I cooked it, it was beautiful. Took it out the oven, and my mom and dad picked up a knife and they went to cut it open. And the thing split open like the Sahara Desert.
Mm.
And
What?
yeah, honey, and it was like smoke went up in the air, and we all looked at it, and they were trying not to laugh, and
Mm.
I kind of looked down at
Oh.
it, and they said, "Did you put milk and egg in here?" And I said, "Milk and egg," and daddy and my daddy, God bless him, he's not with us. He died last year, but
Oh,
he,
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh.
my yeah, and that's part of my story too. But my daddy said, now my daddy didn't hold his tongue and he didn't mince his words, but he did on this one. He said, and my mom said, "Girl, you need milk and egg in there," and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know," So, but they were trying to be so nice about it. So ever since then, I made it my mission at 12 and 13 to make the best mac and cheese I could. And I did. I made the best
Mm.
mac and cheese after that. I bet you I didn't forget that milk and egg again after that.
Mm.
So
Mm.
later on in life, I went earned, of course, my next degree, which was in foods and nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got real serious about not treating it as a hobby, it's just me and my brother. My brother is younger than me. Um, and in 2009, my brother took his life. He was 35 years old.
Oh my
And
goodness.
and I said, after that, I went through 2.5 years of depression. And 2 years, well, 6 months of that was severe depression. And I remember at the time I was married. My ex-husband and I, we had 3 children. And I had my youngest child, I forgot how old he was, and he didn't talk for the first 3 years of his life. And we always joke because we said the first two just talked so much he couldn't get a word in edgewise. But little did I know that he had a learning disability. But I was so depressed that I could tell you the many different ways I was going to take my life.
Mm.
And then not only was I so depressed, I said, well, he got problems. I'll just take him with me. So when we talk about mental illness,
Mm.
I understand the pain of depression. And then after that, something just snapped in my head. I don't know what it was. I remember, I know what it was. We're good friends with the mortician. There you go, small town, right? I got because I haven't been by our phone, but our families go back like 3 and 4 generations. So I remember him coming to me and him saying, "You got to snap out of this," because we were the life of the party. That's not, back then, that's not what Black people do. We don't kill ourselves. We
Yeah.
don't do that. No, that's not our thing. And no, yes, it is. It none of that it doesn't discriminate. And
Yeah.
so he came to me, he said, your brother is not back in that same place and he's not still killing himself. And it's just like somebody took a 2 symbols and said, wham. And that's when I kind of just snapped out of it. And I said, okay, and so then I kind of started coming out of it. And I remember for 1 week, I remember I was so sick. I brushed my teeth. I didn't make my bed. That was a big thing. But I didn't take a bath. And I
Wow.
didn't change my clothes. Now I can tell this story now because I'm fresh and clean. But
I know that's right.
yeah. I can tell this story now. But I can tell that. But if you don't, my sister-in-law, and I can't say my sister-in-law, if you don't expose this enemy and this devil now, if you don't tell it, it's going to keep eating away at us. You have to tell it. You have to. Because you got to be able to recognize those signs in other people. And you can't be ashamed to tell it. You can't. Because if you don't, we're just going to keep, repeating it. And somebody has to say, I'm right there. Somebody has to say, I feel the same way. Somebody say, that's me. Because somebody has to say, I see you, sis. Because when my son came in, I won't forget this. My oldest son came in. He must have been about 12 or 13. And he said, he looked at me and he said, oh, you still in the same clothes. And I remember looking at him like, oh, you can see me. And I got up, I took a shower, and I pulled myself together. So now I said, so let's come up with Eat to Live Longer, the hashtag.
Wow.
The 2 is synonymous with his line number because he pledged Omega, I pledged Delta. So that's his line number. And what that means is get your family back to the table. What does that mean? Get them to the table. That's what we used to do when I was a kid. You find out what was your day like? What was wrong? What happened? All the stuff. I might be older. I don't know. Y'all look younger than me. I'm 35.
Right with you, sis.
Well, yeah, you're right there. Okay, so get your family back to the table. Eat more farm to fork. Now, why do I say eat more farm to fork? I have multiple sclerosis. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2014. It has disabled me. It costs you more money to go to the doctor than it does to eat healthier.
Yeah.
All this junk that they're throwing in the food, it's better to go eat fresh. You go, trust me. I'll give you an example. I have to go get an infusion. So, because I have lesions on the brain, lesions on the C-spine, so that I
Wow.
can walk, so I can get up, because they said I got to take it for the rest of my life. I refuse to believe that because of my faith. That one infusion that I have to get 4 times a year cost me $32,000.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, I have to get another infusion. That's twice as much. Now, who getting that money? I told them doctors, I said, y'all probably putting Sprite in my arm. I don't know what that could be,
Oh my
water.
gosh.
I don't know. I just try to keep it real. I have to keep laughing. But I told him, I said, y'all not getting ready to tell me that I'm getting ready to do this, but that's the insurance coming. But it costs more for them to
Right.
do that. Y'all want me swallowing these pills? You want me to do that? When all I gotta do is get some fresh, just take care of myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Exercise, eat fresh, cut back. I'm not saying don't eat chocolate. Lord God knows. Oh,
Mm.
Jesus, that is now chocolate is my weakness. But just eat fresh. Just take care of yourself. I do like McDonald's fries. I don't eat them as much. But when McDonald's fries are living in my car for 7 months, one fry, and it looked the same as it did the day I bought it, maybe I shouldn't eat it every other day. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So the third
Chef
part,
Monica.
girl, I'm just gonna tell you now, McDonald's, don't come after me because I ain't got as much money as y'all. But the third thing to eat to live longer is you get your family back to the table, eat more farm to fork, and create a sustainable, healthy eating lifestyle. What does that mean? Create something that we can use in our community,
Yeah.
you know, that can create jobs, that can keep us alive, and that can take care of us.
Right.
That's all this means.
So what you said a lot, and I wanted I wanted to no, it's no, that's fantastic, and I think that I just want to give the viewers the opportunity to unpack some of the things that you said, right? And you started cooking at 6, which is interesting because some people will say, kids are too young. Don't go near that fire. Kids too young to, start cooking and stuff. But I believe that you train them early, right? The more they know and the safer they are, right? And so that's one of the things that I do want to talk about. However, you talked about the mac and cheese. Everybody can't make mac and cheese. We all know that, right? Starting. So, that's one of the things that when we talk about black families and what you bringing for the family dinners, mac and cheese is one of them. You also talked about your nutrition. You talked about your father. Rest in peace to your father. But you also talked about you having multiple sclerosis, right? It's a lot of stuff to unpack there, but more specifically, you talked about depression, right? And I think a lot of us are going through a certain level of depression and not knowing about that. So I kind of want to start there, right? I just want to back up and I want to start there as it relates to how did that depression materialize for you in addition to aggravating your multiple sclerosis? I can never say that. Multiple sclerosis, right? When it comes to aggravating that, and how did you pull through? It was something like a symbol. You said it just clicked, right? But what do you say to people who kind of going through that and don't even know that they're depressed?
I always tell people there is, out of pain comes triumph. And I had to learn the hard way because, see, I had to say, you got to dig down and you got to get in your face, and trust me, I'm hurting. Don't get it twisted. I'm hurting. It's a lot of us and we do that, but we have to learn to draw closer to our faith. And it's a fight every single day. And here's the thing. To compound that, my dad took his life last year.
Right.
And
Oh,
when you lose a child, my that was hard on my parents. My mom's still alive, and my dad. Those were the two first men that I ever loved in my entire life.
Wow.
I am a daddy's girl, and my dad was a girl dad. And let me tell you, my daddy supported women of the family. Now, me and him, we were one in the same. And we would go at it, and then we would love each other. We go at it, we love each other. And that was just me and my dad. You know, we had that close relationship, me and my brother. Now, I am my dad, but I'm also my mom. But we were a close family, and we still are, but we're hurting. We're no different than anybody else. But what you have to recognize, I know what my signs are. My signs are, I got to make that bed up. Because if I don't make that bed up, that's a sign that I'm going to get back in it. That's the sign that I want to crawl back in. I want to sleep all day. That's just me. You have to find out, what are your triggers? What are the signs? Papers laying everywhere, mail piling up, not getting up. I have to wake up every morning and thank God that I'm up. And when my feet hit the ground, I have to think that as soon as they hit the ground, that the devil starts shaking, that, oh Lord, she done got up again. Yeah, you're right. I done got up again. You know, I can't stay there, because here's the thing with multiple sclerosis. I have to keep moving. The doctor says your feet have to hit the ground. He said, you can't just sit here and just exercise. He said, Monica, you have to walk. He said, if you don't walk, that can, he said, you could stop walking. I'm supposed to be in a wheelchair. I was told I'm not supposed to be walking. I go into doctor's offices or new doctors, or if I go see an attorney about my situation, they all say, I couldn't wait to meet you because I didn't know if you were going to be able to walk in the door. I read your file. They said, we didn't know how you were going to get in the door. And they look at me and they say, you all right? I said, yeah, I'm all right. You all right? You know, and so, we all just looking at each other. And so I have to tell them that, because there are other MS patients who are in far worse condition than I am. I have not been able to swallow. I have not been able to walk. I have lost my hearing in one ear. I have lost, like right now, all this is numb. I have where they should have found it. I had gone to the eye doctor. I was bleeding behind both maculars in my eyes. And I said, what is that? And they said, it's typically found in men. It's a sign of stress. And I said, well, I don't feel like I'm stressing, but I was. And they said, you're probably internalizing it. And I said, well, what is that? But whatever it was, I was internalizing it. I had not been diagnosed then. But it's like somebody had split me in half, and I had no feeling on the left side of my body, and the right side of the brain controls the left side. I have lesions that are huge. And if one goes active, you don't know if everything you're doing, like when you go to scratch your head, your brain is everything we do. Right. So I may wake up. I have not been able to get up. My feet, like your feet will be flat. I've had my toes curl back. I've had to have my daughter, who is a dancer. She goes to school in California. She's tiny, of course. And I've had to have her come stand on my feet until my toes stop curling back. I mean, all of us are different.
Wow.
So I call it a mean disease. It's very painful. Stress is a trigger for me. So what I miss the most is watching my son play football on Friday night, because every Friday night I could get my frustrations out because I could yell. So my son said, one night they were on the football field and one guy was like, whose mama is that? He said, turn around, man. That's my mom. He said, that's my mama. He said, just turn around. Just turn around. So, but you have to find ways to laugh, to get things out.
Right.
And you got to learn, enjoy life. But you have to dig down and get your faith. You have to sleep. I have to rest. And fatigue. I mean, it's a different kind of fatigue. I can't do extreme hot and I can't do extreme cold.
Wow. And I wanted to bring that up because you're very active with the Multiple Sclerosis Society, which is fantastic. But you have been doing a lot with cooking demonstrations with Savoir Magazine. And I would love for you to talk a little bit about that because we unpacked pretty much your life. We unpacked your challenges, right? Let's talk a little bit about some of your successes. Although I believe getting over kind of like some of the issues that you have as it relates to, multiple sclerosis, there are successes, right? So I don't want to minimize that. But I would like to kind of switch gears and talk a little bit about some of the things you're doing with Savoir Magazine and your cooking demonstrations. Let's get into the food part.
Okay, so when we get into the food part, and let me just say that that's Savor Festival in
Silver
Canada.
Festival in Canada.
Festival,
Okay.
yes, and so forgive me for that. So yes,
That's all
Savor
right.
Festival in Canada. So when I tour with the Southern Women's Show. I've been touring with them for probably about 8 or 9 years. I did that. I did a really nice thing where Roland Martin and his wife, Dr. Jackie Hood Martin, and Sheila Johnson, they brought several of us up there. We had Chef Carla Hall. We had Rock Harper, who is season 3 winner of Hell's Kitchen. We came up there. We helped raise money for St. Jude's. So I've done cooking demonstrations there. We did a big one there at Sheila Johnson's resort. Oh my God, that place was magnificent. It was beautiful. I've done, I've interacted with several of Chef Gordon Ramsay's, how can I put it, chefs like Tasha McCutcheon. I met, I've done some work through Black Expo with the first African American female. You got to get all the titles right.
Yes.
Winner of Master Chef. Yeah, I know. And see, with multiple sclerosis, I may say something. I may say Parmesan cheese, and I meant, mozzarella cheese. So some things may, go, but that's no excuse. But nonetheless, so I've been very fortunate to always been on the main stage. I've met Cartier Brown, Chef Cartier Brown. I've done work with Cam Newton. On his sleigh ride when it came through Charlotte. There's so many celebrities. I don't get starstruck. I always say there's only 3 people that will starstruck me, and I hadn't come across those yet. I've met, I've been Nick Cannon before he started wilding out. It's and he's a look. Well, I don't want to say little guy, but he is. When you see these people that they're smaller. Guy Fieri, I've done work with him. I call him WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. And Alton Brown, the same thing. Golly, he is so intense. Woo! So he is. It's very interesting just to be able to meet, these celebrities because we're all the same. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm trying to get into heaven. I'm trying to do whatever I got to do, because if I'm the one up there that can push that button, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. But I'm just trying to do my part, and I want to make sure when I do my meal prep, my customers who I do meal prep with, they all tell me, they said, Monica, I'm losing weight. It's going good, and I when I do my demonstrations from the stage. Black Expo has been really great to me. They do a lot of great events. Darren Thomas down in South Carolina, he's awesome. He has a great program down there. He just brought in Master P down there, and everything. I'm doing work with Jack Daniels, and it's really great. It's just there's so many amazing people who I've done work with and organizations. I've just been truly blessed. I can't complain. But I've had so much pain in my life. But I tell a nice little joke about it, because I always say I I lost my brother. Then I get to the point. Then I get the multiple sclerosis, and then I go through a divorce. I would never wish a divorce on anybody. And I tell people when I meet them, I said, let me tell you something. If you love your spouse, save your marriage. I said, unless it's a volatile situation, I would tell anybody, get out of that, because I've done cooking demonstrations for domestic violence survivors and their family.
Right.
I go to the shelters. I've done it for hospice survivors. That's probably about the most emotional classes that I've done, because you're talking to people who went from a home of two and now they're one. They've been with their spouse for 60 years and now they're alone. So they're like, Chef Monica, how do I cook for one? And the hair is just starting to stand up on my body. Yeah, it's just like, and you're trying to help them find peace in their situation, and you're trying to, help them. It's a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
You know what?
And
I think this is an excellent time to talk about, because you're talking about helping people, and you're talking about how much you put into not only you, but the things that you have been doing, how much of yourself that you put in it. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about, your blends and your seasonings, and let's talk a little bit about that. That's the good stuff. She put
Mama said, Mama Michael, stop. Mama said, stop. Mama said, yeah, daddy.
Yes.
So let's talk about them. What do you have in front of you? And let's talk a little bit about that. Yep.
Well, I actually have 6 blends. These are 4 to 6 blends. These are my babies. But I'm going to tell you something. This is the most, good Lord. This is the hardest thing to do, is to get these things into a daggum grocery store. I should have been able to get these in the grocery store that I did work for 8 years. Now, I ain't going to be petty or petulant and say why they didn't get in there. You can call the grocery store and ask them yourself. But I should, we always say,
Take your time, Chef Monica. Take your time.
Here you go.
Let me tell you something. I heard one of the TV ministers, and I'm gonna say his name, Joel Osteen, because I love all my ministers, but I remember he said, if your dream ain't big enough, if your dream doesn't scare you, then it ain't big enough. And I said, okay.
Yes.
I said, you know what? Anger can be a good thing, but I don't want to be fueled and driven by my anger, although that's part of what got me here. But I say, you know what? Y'all gonna make me so mad that if y'all won't let me in on your playground,
I'm gonna build my
okay. I'm a fool enough to believe I can build my own and put my product in there, and I can bring some more people who y'all won't let be there and build a 365 unit. And guess what? I don't need to be in your playground. That's how angry I am. And here's the thing. I know I got a good product. These are my recipes that I built right here in this kitchen.
Oh, come on.
Yes, I'm going to talk about exactly. And I said, it don't make sense that I got to sit here and beg. Everybody want to talk about, we want minority products. We want to do this. We want these minority products. And then I even get other groups to say, well, yeah, we buy black. We do this. Well, he go black.
All right, so Chef Monica, there we go. That's why you're on our platform, so we can make sure people know about the things that you have. So I want to give you the opportunity to do that, right? And so you have some seasoning in your hand. Why don't you walk everybody through what you have in your hand, the names and everything? Come on, Cletus, come on.
Okay, that's right. Come on, Cletus, let's go. You want some pizza? Okay, so this is my sweet and savory curry. This one I built to fry, and I'll be honest, I got tired of using Obey. Lord, they got the market. It's like $100 million industry. I mean, can't some of us get a piece of the pie? You know, I got 3 kids. I got one out in California. Lord knows that performing art school is expensive. And
No
she
doubt.
does have, some other stuff. I got another one that's getting ready to come through. I need a new pair of shoes. Thank you. And I got to pay for this stuff up here. But nonetheless, yes, this sweet and savory curry. I built it to fry, and it makes one hell of a sauce. You better believe it.
Fantastic.
It's so good. But it's good. Yes, it works. It is it's got great recipes on the back. It's got one for holy salmon. I love it, all the pieces. This is my espresso barbecue. And I'm gonna tell you the reason I made the espresso barbecue because I was sitting here in my kitchen, and you know how Big Mama is. She said, "Don't throw nothing out because we don't waste nothing." Because when I grew up, you couldn't even throw away the ends of white bread. Remember that?
There you go.
Because you got beat. Well, see, I didn't get beat because my granddad, he wouldn't say nothing to me, but he got everybody else. But anyway, I had too much espresso coffee in here because everybody would come to my house and eat. And I was like, why do I have all this espresso coffee? So I had fun making this one. So I said, guess what? There's 17 ingredients in here. And I could have stopped at the first 9. And I had fun making this. I said, oh, good God Almighty, this thing bad to the bone. You got 2 different blends in here. You can bake with it. You can make barbecue with it. I know we have a lot of our people that don't like pork, and that's okay. So I have a recipe on the back where you can cook it with some chicken thighs and then pull it, and you can make it. You'll have pulled chicken instead of pulled pork.
Fantastic.
And you don't know the difference.
What's the next one? Yep.
The next one, herb citrus blend. I got tired of Miss Dash. So I said, here we go. So here go the herb citrus blend. One of my brother's best friend's name is Kipling. So on the back is a recipe for Kipling spice. I made this. Gastonia has a festival called Highland Fest. He came up to me. He said, sis, everybody's frying chicken. I can't eat fried chicken. I need you to make me something to go on chicken. And I came up with this in the middle of the street. That's how on the back you see Kipling.
Wow.
The other one is the red pepper dill. And that one is what I call my man spice. That's my cousin Gina. That's her spice. I made that one. I ain't met a man yet that don't like that spice. I had an 80-year-old woman at the Southern Women's Show. And when I tell you, she said, girl, give me 2 of those because I need to catch me 2. I said, oh, okay. And she was 88, talking about catching 2 men. So those are the 4 that are out. But the other 2 that I have, Sawyer Brands, who makes Duke's mayonnaise, because we got to selling so much, I had to stop self-manufacturing those. And they we're in a co-packer agreement, and so they make them. I have what's coming out, Mediterranean rosemary, and the other one's turmeric garden. The turmeric garden, I actually made it for people like me. I call it a healing spice. So it's got things that will help you with chronic illnesses such as mine, diabetes. So when you cook with it, it doesn't have garlic in it, and it doesn't have thyme in it. So I had to do something different. But that Mediterranean rosemary, man, you can put that in a whole lot of different things, different type of ethnic dishes, whether it be Spanish or whether it be Asian, because I've cooked it in both. So
fantastic.
Wow.
There you
go.
I
want to swing from the chandelier. There you go.
There you go. So what we're going to try to do is, especially in Philadelphia, we're going to try to connect you to Brown Shop, right? I mean, this gentleman has been very helpful and influential in getting people who are entrepreneurs in developing products such as yours in supermarkets. And so we're going to try to connect you two together, and hopefully you can get the spices in, a store down here in Philly. And he has one of the larger chains called ShopRite, Brown ShopRite. And so we have to let you go, but before we let you go, you have to tell us, how can people get your spices? How can they find you? Where can they find all that good old stuff?
They can find me at chefmonicablends.com. Follow me on my social media. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on LinkedIn. And they're all Chef Monica Blend. They're all Chef Monica Blends, or if you're on Twitter, it's Chef M Blends.
Love it.
Love it, love it, love it. I just like to thank you for coming on the show and being able to, have this conversation for us and our viewers. And you keep you. This is one thing
Love
that we
your
say.
spirit, Chef Monica.
Yes, we love it. We love it. And what we generally say is, once you come to the show, you're a friend to the show, so you're always welcome to come back. And we love your publicist, and so she's going to make sure that you come back on, and so we can talk about nutrition specifically, because you need a show yourself. You need a 2-hour show on your own. and it's all right. And it's all right. And we're going to try to make some things happen and bring you on, because we could talk some specialties, we could talk some menu items, and we could talk nutrition, but most importantly, we could talk about your health and you staying healthy and your entrepreneurship. And so we really appreciate you for coming on. And before we let you go, is there anything else that you would like to say to the people who may be watching?
The one thing I always like to say, suicide is not the way. We need you here. We need you here. Yes.
Wow. Fantastic. Fantastic. You have people saying that they're going to be ordering, they're following you. We have people saying that, shout out to Leslie in the building. She's following, people loving what you're doing. So we want to thank you for coming on the show, and make sure you come back on whenever you're ready.
I will. I'll be back. Blessings to you all.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, Queen.
No doubt. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Charles Gray with the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle
and the beautiful
Classy Lady Sparkle
and the beautiful.
Thank you.
Chef Monica.
And the beautiful. Wait. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about them other two beauty queens. I was like,
we talking about you, Queen.
That's right.
Thank you. Chef Monica, thank you.
Absolutely.
Chef Monica in the building. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this, y'all. Holla.
What's going on, you guys? This is Bridget Kelly, and you are locked into We Talk Weekly.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is We Talk Weeklies After the Talk on WPPMLP, Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies After the Talk. I had to let her talk a little bit more. I had to give her an opportunity to.
She has to come back, because I had some questions.
I know you did. I know y'all had some questions. I was looking at the time. I was like, we got to get the sizzle. We got to get good news and bad news. We got some sports. We got Lily with the music. We got all type of stuff that's going on. So we'll make sure that we bring her back on. I'm sorry, ladies.
I just want to say, so next time if she's watching, the questions I wanted to ask is, what's a good aphrodisiac for a food? What's a good food that you can use for facials? And because people don't know this, but mental illness is genetics. It's like triggers that she talked about. She said that her brother had suicide. So there are foods that make you have depression worse. There are foods that do build you up a little more, like certain types of berries. So did she just, know any of that type of stuff? So yes, I definitely got questions that I would love to have her back.
Yeah, and I'm sure Sizzle has some questions too. Yeah, I think it was important. Sometimes people don't have especially going through depression. I don't think people understand how serious that is, right? Mm-hmm. And as you're going through depression, sometimes people just need an outlet to share, right? And I thought it was important to give her that platform to share, how she felt, and that's what we're here for.
I suffer depression, so I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, there's levels of depression, and when she was talking about being in the deep depression, that's when it's a serious concern. Not that the other levels aren't, right? But that when you're contemplating taking your life, and that's why we need to continue to. Now is just a rough time for everyone. We need to continue to do those mental health check-ins and call somebody and a lot
Mhm.
of times we'll say like, "Hey, how you doing?" in passing, just, "Hey,
Right.
how you doing?" "I'm all right." "Oh, that's good." And you just keep
Yeah.
it moving. But
Right.
try to do a little bit more, especially when some people are showing signs of,
That's
certain
right.
Right.
behaviors that, are can
True.
be harmful to themselves.
That's right.
Right.
Absolutely.
You got
100%.
mild, moderate, and severe. But the other thing is, women and men who can't cook, it sounds like her seasons make anybody who can't cook that your food going to still come out good. That salmon one, the old bag, like what? Oh
Yes,
Well,
yeah.
that
unless I
sounds
do in
like
the
a whole
microwave, I
plan right
can't
there.
cook. I tell
I'm
you from the
on.
door, I
I'm
can't
on.
cook. Mm.
I'm gonna have to lock you in.
I know I
you
can't cook.
you need to get her seasons because that's
I
all
know,
it is.
right?
It's
Yeah.
about making the seasons right.
Yeah, no doubt. So everybody who's watching, listening, and tuning in, I just want to say thank you for participating in that discussion, that conversation. And sometimes we allow people to speak a little bit more just to make sure that they get their point across and can share for somebody who may benefit from their words, the energy that they're giving. And she definitely gave that great energy. And so without further ado, we got some good news and bad news. You ready for that?
I'm always ready.
All right, Spark, give it to me early.
Cool. All right. So this story is going to infuriate those parents who does set rules and boundaries for their children. 34-year-old Desmond Hamilton, a Louisiana father, was shot and killed in a shootout he had with a teenage boy who police say snuck into the man's house to see his 14-year-old daughter. Nicholas McQuater, a 17-year-old who climbed up a ladder to the second-story window, was wounded in the encounter and taken to the hospital. Both were armed, and police said that authorities are still investigating the shooting, and it's still unclear who fired the shot first. Is that not sad?
Oh my gosh. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, so it's just, I mean, it's an assumption, but it sounds like a young girl who basically was either on punishment. She was, up in her room, and then, her boyfriend gets a ladder, and the father probably said, "No, you're not going to talk to this little boy for whatever reason." First of all, what is he, 17-year-old, coming to the house with a gun for? Why is he packing a gun? So
Mm-mm-mm.
he's actually in the hospital recovering from his injuries, and the article basically stated that after he gets released or discharged, they will book him and charge him with second-degree murder.
Yeah. They need to roof him. They need to roof
Yeah,
him. Because
exactly.
I don't like, you can't just take the L and just be like, oh, my bad, and roll out. You gotta kill the dad. You gotta kill the girl, the little she's a baby, 14.
He's 17. Did you
Oh, he's
show the picture of
17.
the house?
No, I did. Hold, here we go, right here.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
the
Wow,
house.
Wow.
unbelievable, man. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Mm-mm-mm.
need to roof him. I mean, you kill the girl that you're going to see. You like her enough to go see
Mm.
her, but you kill her father.
Who
You
made
shot
her?
her father. Like,
Right.
that's nuts to me, man. I don't get
Mm.
it. I'm not.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Right.
Mhm.
All right.
No
So
doubt.
this I only have two stories today, you guys. So
No doubt.
this last story is basically a lot of stuff is going on in the Olympics.
Right.
So this story is about a sporting director who's 54 years old, named Patrick Moster, and he's basically Germany's cycling federation spectator who was sent home after making racist comments during Wednesday's Olympic road time trial. Monster was shouting, "Get the camel drivers! Get the camel driver!" at Nikias Arnett, who was trailing Asdin Lagabab, sorry if I'm jacking up the names, from Algeria, and Emmanuel Gasberger from Eritrea. Monster apologized, and before he was sent home, blamed the heat of the moment. He also said, "I'm extremely sorry and can only offer my sincere apologies," he told the German news agency DPA. He said, "I didn't want to offend anyone, and we have many friends with North African roots. As I said, I'm sorry," end quote. Now tell me, What was that?
Yo, so it's the
You follow?
classic. It's the classic. Well, I got black friends. It's the classic. Well, I got friends that don't look like me. How can I be?
So did you show that picture of him with the bike?
Yeah, I seen it. Yep.
So
Sure
that's
did.
him saying, the camel. He's like who? Get the camel drivers, because they're basically on the sidelines,
Wow.
getting that momentum. And he's saying, get the camel. Like, where you see a camel at?
Yeah, that's
Right.
Out of
Right.
pocket.
Right. So
No.
basically, the Olympics, their spokesperson said, although we think that he did give a sincere apology, it's basically against their rules and values of what the Olympics stand for. So he will not be returning back.
wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that was your good news and your bad news from Classy Lady Sparkle.
And that was your good news and bad news, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Charles Gregory, the beautiful.
Lauren Sizzle. I'm
And the
sorry,
beautiful.
y'all. I had to address this cat.
I see her. Classy Lady Sparkle.
And this is We Talk Weeklies after the talk on WPPMRP, Philadelphia, 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies after the talk. And coming up next, we got some music. We're going to bring Lily you on. Lily, you here? Where you at?
Where you at?
Hey,
y'all.
She right there.
Hey, that was on time.
Uh-huh. So it's a lot of things that's going on in music, and I'm sure that you got some stories for me. So holla at me, man. You ready for me?
Yes, I am ready for y'all. Are y'all ready for some music? Okay, before I start, please definitely go and subscribe, like, share, comment, everything that I just said on our YouTube. We have a Twitter, follow us, Facebook, Instagram. Do all of that just so you can stay in the loop with We Talk Weekly. You don't want to miss out what we have all going on. All right, y'all. So some music. Yesterday is Thursday. Friday is always the big day for the music drops. But what is already out at the moment is Lil Baby and Kirk Franklin finally did the video for We Win, which is the soundtrack of Space Jam's A New Legacy movie. Yes, the video is out. It's out right now. Definitely go check it out. It's hot. I watched it earlier today. It's definitely popping. Like, I already enjoyed the song, but the visual is definitely gives you another. I just love it. They got kids in the video. They got some of the clips from the Space Jam movie on there. Definitely go check that out. So shout out to Lil Baby and Kirk Franklin for this video. It's definitely hot right now. So definitely tune in. Another video that is out at the moment is Gallant, who is a singer-songwriter from Maryland. He has collabed with Brandy on this joint right here. This video is called Dynamite, and it is off of his album called Neptunes, which was released back in March. So both of their vocals on this track is just beautiful. It's like piano based. It's so decent. So definitely go check out Dynamite by Gallant featuring Brandy. And y'all know Brandy got them vocals, y'all, and it just meshes so well together. And the video is just so beautiful, like I said. So definitely check out Gallant's video Dynamite with Brandy. Gallant has also done other collabs as well with Janae Ayoko and the Van Just. Okay, guys. Yes. Go ahead.
Love Brandy. I've always loved Brandy. She has such a beautiful voice.
She
Sorry,
really
just need to say that.
And she just been killing it because she's on other projects, and I believe she's in the New Girl. Well, I don't want to say New Girl show, but Eve, Natara. It's like 4 of the girls. I can't remember the other one, but yeah, she's definitely on the new show held in the UK. But yeah, so definitely we have some music that is coming out tomorrow. Leela James is dropping her 7th studio album, y'all. It's called See Me, and it drops tomorrow. Like I said, she already had her song out, Put It On Me, which is out along with a video. So definitely go check out Layla James, y'all. Y'all know this is the songstress, the soulful songstress right here, y'all. So you definitely won't be disappointed. I'm excited, so I'm definitely gonna have to tap into to See Me tomorrow when it drops.
Yeah, I like Layla James.
Yeah.
She's dope.
Yeah.
She's definitely dope. I haven't heard from her in a long time. So,
Mm-hmm.
do you know her, when her last project was, Layla?
2000 and maybe 18, I believe.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
No doubt, man.
Yeah.
That's
And
my girl.
Put It On Me, I believe, is she talks about just about her when she was about to get married, like she puts everything on that track. So we definitely gonna get a whole lot of inside scoop from this album. All right, y'all. I know y'all have been waiting. I have been waiting. When is the album coming, or when is a single dropping? Who knows? But Silk Sonic decided to post this picture. You've been invited to Silk Sonic's Summertime Jam this Friday. We don't know if we're getting an album. We don't know if we're getting a single. We don't even know if we're getting a performance of Leave the Door Open. But all we know is this Friday, tomorrow, Silk Sonic is giving us something. What do y'all think it is? I think it's a single. I don't think they're giving us an album.
Whatever it is, I'm here for it.
Yes. Everybody is waiting for Silk, because you know what? They've been dragging on Leave the Door Open for a minute, and it's still doing numbers. It's still doing. I still love
it.
So they definitely got us by the string. So I don't know what to expect from them. They are really goofballs, so they just might give us a performance, y'all. I don't know.
Lily, what about the memes when they be like, if your kid ready to leave and you leave the door open, they find it everything to put in
Everything.
there.
They like, we can finally close the door. Like, I don't know. Not just yet. Not just yet. But yeah, Silk Sonic is dropping something, y'all. Something tomorrow. We shall see. We really shall see. All right. And one of my faves right here, Isaiah Rashad, is back, guys. It's been about 5 years since he's put out an album, I believe. And this one is called The House is Burning. And this album right here is just him. He talks about how it's just him being liberated from the pressures of his mind. So the last time I seen Isaiah Rashad was when SZA performed her American Express on stage performance, and she brought him out for Pretty Little Birds. And he when I seen him, I was like, oh my goodness, haven't seen him in a minute, where he's been. And he talked about how he was in rehab for alcohol and whatnot. He just had a lot of self-doubt. So it's really good to see that he's back out and pushing this project forward, because everybody likes his music. He's a really great, talented rapper. So definitely excited to see and hear all Isaiah Rashad has coming up. But besides Isaiah Rashad, Silk Sonic, and Layla James that's coming out tomorrow, we also have Tyga, who's dropping, Jaden Smith, NLE Chopper, Tink, Logic, Tootsie, Dave East. The list goes on. So we are definitely expected to hear a whole lot of music tomorrow, y'all. Definitely. So that was just all your new and latest music updates. There are also a bunch of crazy stuff that's been going. I don't, Sizzle, are you talking about the midget? I don't wanna bring that up. If you're gonna be talking about the midget.
The midget. The plane.
What? Go ahead and talk.
The baby.
No, I'm not talking about.
Okay, guys. So the baby definitely did drop his song. Oh, I can't remember what it's. I think it's called "Give It Something." It's something, y'all. I can't remember. But he definitely dropped his song and video this week. Along with, he did perform at Rolling Loud, which I was at this past weekend, guys. Rolling Loud was a lot of fun. It was definitely in Miami. It was 3 days. There was 4 stages, and each stage had different performers going on with the different times. So yes, I did go and see the baby with my girlfriend. I did not stay long because Fetty Wap was performing, so we had to go travel to another stage. But yes, I had tuned out after he brought out Tory Lanez, because I still wasn't feeling the baby from the incident with Megan, and then to bring out Tory Lanez, it was like that's corny to me. It was corny, so I tuned out. But yeah,
what did the crowd say? What was people saying when he brought Tory Lanez out?
They was hype. they were hype. Yes, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like the baby's a good performer. I will give him that.
Right.
The baby's a great performer. You know, he brought out the bed like for one of his songs. He's a really great performer. So when he brought out Tory Lanez, he was like dressed in a mascot, and he was like, "I give y'all $1 million if y'all can guess who it is." And I'm thinking, Tory never came to my mind. I was like, I don't know who wanted it. Like, I don't know. And then when Tory came out, it was like, okay, it's almost time to go. So I think when I went to go see Fetty, that's when he said those ignorant behind comments, and then the shoe was thrown at him.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Because you missed it.
Yeah, because
Right.
Fetty was coming on. I didn't want to miss Fetty. I could care less about the baby, but yeah, it was in it. The lineup was also crazy as well because Megan performed before him. She performed. She did. She's a great
How
performer.
was that?
Yeah. So then I was like, dang, they're gonna really put the baby after her? Like, that's wild. And my girlfriend was like, what if Megan bring the baby out? I was like, she's not. she's not gonna bring him out, and he's not gonna bring her out. But yeah, and the baby has really put his foot in his mouth because all the backlash he's getting. Elton John came out, Questlove has come out, Dua Lipa has come out and said the Demi Lovato, the list, and it's just like,
For those that don't know, what did he say?
I can't say verbatim, but I know it's definitely something about men in the parking lot, gay men in the parking lot, basically. And then if you have AIDS or HIV, you're gonna be dying within 2-3 weeks. Yeah, along those lines. I have to find a video. Of course, it's all over the internet. Yes, but it's just like, I'm just so sick of the ignorant stigmas and just. Especially when it comes to AIDS and HIV, like, please educate yourselves. Please, like, I don't think, say it again. Yeah, I don't think people understand. Like, people just think like, oh, well, you just dirty. It's like, no, you don't know nobody's background. You don't know nobody's story. People could be born with it. People could have consensual, unprotected sex and get it. Like, you don't make comments like that. And I don't think people understand is that you can't say what you want to say without consequences. So, like, everybody's like, freedom of speech. It's like, okay, yeah, but it's what you say. You're going to face the backlash.
Right.
Like, I don't think
you muted Charles. I think he was saying something.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, so I just want to make sure that our listeners and viewers and people who's downloading and streaming and podcasting, listening to this, AIDS and HIV is not a death sentence.
Yes.
It's nothing to be ashamed about. Get yourself tested, know your status, and be able to monitor and take care of it. It's nothing to look at and be like ill. It's nothing that you can touch and catch. You know, it's just get educated on it, and it's nothing to be ashamed about. If you have it, get tested, learn to take care of it. Simple as that. It's not an ill. It's not an ill. Get the information, and it's not a death sentence that a lot of people thought. This is 2021.
I know.
This is 2021, ladies and gentlemen.
Honestly,
and we're still having this combo.
It's some people who say that cancer will take you out faster than any other type of disease. So, and that's the one that there is no cure, or, you know, it's really harder when it reaches a certain stage, unfortunately.
And, you know, we have to make sure that we're mindful when it comes to even when we talk diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? Because it's certain things that people say that marginalize other communities. And they have to, communities that deal every day with things like HIV and AIDS already feel marginalized, already feel they have the stigma of black cloud over them, that people are pointing and saying ill, you know? And so we have to be mindful when we're talking about this stuff. It's not a gay disease, right? That people think, and it's not that. So we have to make sure that we stay informed and inform people who are getting the misinformation, who are uninformed. And it's not fair and it's not okay. And when it comes to that, especially those communities, we have to make sure that we speak out and let people know that they need to correct the information that's not accurate.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just wanted to make sure that we mentioned that, yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And, I feel like I need to apologize for the baby, because the baby looks like me, and I'm sure that he isn't, as informed, right? And so you may hear him later on apologize also, which would probably be. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I mean, he did. Yeah. He came and he apologized like on his Instagram and whatnot, like wrote a post or whatnot. But it's just like, what was the point of you saying that at the concert? That's what I don't understand. Like Chris Brown wrote on his status, on his post, his story was like, do what you need to do, sing or rap your songs, thank your fans, and leave. Like, what was the extra? It was like, why? I think that's what everybody's like, why? Why did you say that? And you're literally at a concert where people just want to come and hear your music, and here you go talking down and being homophobic. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
come on.
No doubt.
Right.
I mean, we have gay fans. Like, I mean, we have fans all across.
Go ahead. I'm
sorry.
Go
ahead, Lily. No, this is your story. Go ahead.
Before he started acting crazy, he had gay fans too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think that sound like it was a prior conversation he must have had that made him speak to that.
Usually, I don't know. I'm sorry. Go ahead, say.
No, that's fine. I was just going to say we don't know what the full or the background story is. There's always a flip side to certain things that we don't know. But it's just unfortunate. I like the Bay. I'm a fan of his. So I mean, it's just hard to hear that he took a left turn. Hopefully, he can come back for it.
Yeah, the context, I don't think the backstory, in my opinion, doesn't matter. It just seems like certain people who speak out have an insecurity and need to be educated too. So it just take onus of it, educate yourself on it and apologize sincerely.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And it really went from Lil Nas X, and then Lil Nas X kind of got pushed out the situation. It was the baby versus everybody because people had been coming for Lil Nas as well. And I would just want people to stop coming for Lil Nas. Like, just leave him alone. Like,
hold on, wait. Who came for Lil Nas? Who came for Lil Nas? I said, who came for him?
When the baby made about the gay comment and whatnot, people were also coming for Lil Nas because of his Industry Baby video with Jack Harlow. Because he's portraying himself in a prison and all the gay men are in there. And people were saying like, why, what is the point of this video? But he's showing femininity and masculine. Like, it's like a parody as well. And it's like, I guess he was just he's just showing himself like, I'm free. Like, this is who I am. Like, I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah, and leave him alone.
Yes. And the Boosie came for him. Oh my goodness. Lil Boosie said some things, and I'm just like, y'all really, Lil Nas does not care. And then Lil Nas put out an uncensored video. I'm not going to spoil it, but y'all should watch it. He's a genius. Lil Nas is really a genius. Seriously, watch the uncensored video. I promise you, there's nobody naked in there. I promise you. When you watch it, you're just going to laugh because he's so smart, and he has about, I think it was like about 4 million people had already tapped into it.
I'm gonna check it out.
Literally watch it. You're going to laugh because he's so smart and he's very good at marketing and branding himself. When I say this man does not care what anybody says, people are just mad because he's gay and being successful. That's what it is. Because if he wasn't gay and he was just a black man, like, all right. But because he's gay and successful, that's the issue. And I really want people to leave Lil Nas out the equation. Let him do his music, because when he came out, everybody was supporting him, and he came out and said he was gay. So I'm confused on why we still having this conversation months later, a year later.
You know what I think it is? I think it has a lot, and we can have a different conversation about this. I think it has a lot to do with now the incorporation of religion, so to speak. And I think we have a lot of people who are a little upset, especially because I didn't hear the chatter until people started using or having a conversation based around devil worshiping, right? And so I had to look back and look at some of the performances and was like, oh, okay, I can see why some of the people are a little upset. And I think that narrative is starting to get mixed up in the conversation. And you have a lot of people who are very, very religious, very religious, and when it comes to Christianity, is no moving them, and they have a right to their agency and what their own beliefs, their belief system also. And so it gets to a point where we are going to have to acknowledge people have their own kind of, I guess, their own positions, and everybody kind of respect whatever or whomever position that they have. Like if that's what you do, then if you like it, I love it. That just ain't me. You know what I'm saying? Like I can say that, I'm a heterosexual male, right? I'm not gay. I don't have any like feelings or emotions that I want to be, or am I curious about it? No, but I have gay friends. I have family members who are gay, and but that's dumb. You know what I'm saying? That's what they choose. I still love them. That's my family, right?
Right.
But that's just something that I'm not. I wasn't born to have those feelings, right? And so I could just
but
acknowledge.
You also respect you.
But that's my point.
Yeah,
that's
People
my
don't
point.
have respect.
But I think that's where the conversation needs to start. The respect and the love for people who have their own decisions. Respect them. Like that's what you do over there. Just do you. I'll do me. Just respect me. And I respect you. Everybody respect and love each other. And I think we'll be in a better place. I think it's the infringement on respect and the infringement on me and my personal beliefs is where the challenges start to become, right? And so until we can acknowledge and identify that, then we'll always have a problem. So I don't know.
The world is just so crazy. Somebody will not like me because I don't like butter pecan, but I like strawberry ice cream. Like
you don't like butter pecan? What's the matter with you?
You know what I'm saying?
No.
So it's like I like that. Lil Nas don't care. He don't give a F. That's it.
I wish I had that. I wish I had. I don't. I wish I had. I think I care too much about everything and everybody, but I wish I did have it. Certain things I could give it to. I mean, you can kick rocks about it. I get it, right? I'm there sometimes, but for the most part, I'm just like, man, I wish I had that. You know what I mean?
I get it when I'm PMSing. I do. I just don't. They be like, oh God, like, yup. Then it go away, but it come back, so it's a balance. So I know how Lil Nas feel.
Yeah. So keep doing your thing, Lil Nas. I would have loved to see you at Rolling Loud, but maybe another time. But overall, I did enjoy myself at Rolling Loud. No COVID restrictions. Like nobody was really taking any precautions. Some people had their mask on. I didn't have my mask on, but some people had their mask on. But they did have COVID testing sites for 2 days.
Okay.
Not COVID, vaccine sites, COVID vaccine.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
You got your voice back though.
I know you hear. I've been drinking my tea. So yes, Rolling Loud, definitely I would give it a 10 out of 10. I definitely would do it again. You know, not this year because they have Kylie coming up in New York, but I would definitely do it again. And because the word is opening, there is another concert coming out next year. The Lovers and Friends. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it came out in 2020 and I thought it was a hoax. People thought it was a hoax, but it was canceled. But they are bringing it back, and it will be in Vegas. And the lineup is just everybody that you could think of, from Usher, Ludacris, Lauryn Hill, TLC, Nelly, Sierra, Jodeci, Keith Sweat, Genuine, Sean Paul, Timberland. The list literally goes on, and it's the Lovers and Friends concert in Vegas. next year, y'all. So the world is definitely opening back up. I know. I don't think we'll have another shutdown. Honestly, I just don't see it anymore. I think people are just going to make do in the midst of the pandemic, y'all. Yes.
Lily, go ahead, Sizzle.
Oh no, I was gonna say when you go next year, make sure you go live so that you know.
I'm gonna be right there. You gonna have your big sister with you, cause I'm going. I'm Lil Kim, Trina.
Lil Kim.
I'm gonna be there. Like, come on,
Foxy Brown,
everybody. Yeah. I'm going. What?
Yeah, this is like a yeah. This is a good one. This is a good one.
We gonna be there. We Talk Weekly gonna be in the house. That's
Lovers and Friends, Las Vegas, y'all.
Take it off, Charles.
Lovers and Friends, Las Vegas, May 14th, 2022. Tickets pre-sale go out August 2nd. So that's on a Monday, y'all. So definitely go to loversandfriendsfest.com and try to secure them tickets. And they are also doing package deals. So you can do with a hotel. No flights are included, but you can get your hotel and with the tickets included. So yes. But you know, I'm kind of happy to see the world kind of opening back up, but I still see, you know, with the Delta variant out, who knows what's going to happen in within 6 months? Who knows, y'all? But we shall see. We shall really see. And I'm your girl Lily, and that was music.
And that was music, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Charles Gregory, the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle,
and the beautiful.
Oh, you mute Sparkle. Oh,
classy lady Sparkle.
Yeah, the beautiful
Lily.
No doubt. And this is We Talk Weeklies After the Talk on WPPMLP, Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies After the Talk. And coming up, you know, we got the Sizzle. Sizzle, you ready for me?
Yes, I'm ready.
No doubt. Well, give it to me early.
All right. Before I dive right on in, I want to make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video. That's so important. It costs you nothing. Maybe it might cost you maybe like a second or two just to kind of do all that. But just like, comment, and share, follow, subscribe, and all that good old stuff. So Dr. Dre has been ordered to pay his ex-wife Nicole Young $3.5 million a year in spousal support. So Nicole, she originally demanded $2 million per year, and the LA court judge ordered Dre to pay her $294,000 each month. And this is to cover her expenses of their home. They have a home in Malibu and Pacific Palisades, and her health insurance. So this is the catch though, y'all. The spousal support will remain in place until Nicole gets married again, or she gets in a new relationship, or either one of them die, or the judge ends the spousal support. So whichever one comes first, that spousal support is going to get cut. Well, Dre had to declare himself legally single just a couple months ago. This was following the accusations of physical and emotional abuse during their relationship. So what I want to know is, how long do y'all think Nicole Young is going to stay single and get that coin? What y'all think?
For a minute. For a minute. I don't see why not.
Why you gotta get married? Why? What?
Yeah, I know. That's my thing. Like, she deserves it. So why was that part of the deal until you get married? I don't like that. I didn't like that.
And not that they threw in there until she gets another. If she gets
another,
but
how they know if
partner.
Well, how do they know that? Like, you can't go on a tea date. You know what I'm saying?
Dre probably gonna have somebody following her. He gonna have private investigators on her 24/7. Because I know he gonna want to cut that bag off. He gonna want to cut that bag off.
That's crazy. That was just like Lily said, the way it's set up. Like, until I can understand until you get married. That part I do get. But even if you in a relationship, come on.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes. That's why I was just like, she just gonna have to stay
Look at
single for a
C-Face.
while. You know, what you gonna say? What you gonna say? No, you can't.
I mean, it's for her emotional distress. So
yeah. So what you gonna
No,
say?
I mean, I'll be on my Kevin Samuels tip, so I'm gonna leave this one alone.
We need a male perspective.
Just say it, see?
Kevin.
He always give us a hard time loving relationships.
I mean, I'll say this: they've been together for a long time. They've been married for a long time. You know, she deserves. I forgot how many years they've been together.
It's been a
long time, so she deserves. She deserves. A lot. But I just don't trust that. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Wow.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Wow.
I'm gonna leave that alone. I just hope that somebody found love. They really express themselves. That's all, and nothing hold them back. So.
Wow. It's crazy that women who in the bed when y'all pillow talking, y'all bouncing ideas, is many ideas that she had that he took and was like, "Oh yeah, that's a good idea." You don't gotta put it all up on me, but it is what it is. And a lot of those ideas are hers. That money just wasn't signed in her name. He was the voice behind it. It's like, oh, babe, you should do this, because I've been in that position. And he's taking her intellectual properties. That money, he's the front and he's the voice. And they automatically think, oh, she don't deserve that. She ain't put time in. Is you out your mind?
Yes.
I'm not even talking about the pillow talk. I'm talking about the grumpiness, the times where they didn't have, because she came up when they was grinding together.
24 years.
Man, 24 years. Look, what?
That's why I said they've been
partner.
1996.
Anyway, like until. And I see a lot of those comments can be presumptuous. Like, you don't know, you're assuming. We don't know how musically talented she is.
She fed him. I know that.
That's what I said. So my point is, like, she is owed something. It's just hard to say how much or what that number is. I think that's my hang up. I get caught up in the numbers, right? And I'm glad that you're silent. And so
Margo's doing sign language over there.
I know, right? And so but I also heard, and this is all alleged, I also heard that he was abusive, right?
Yeah.
And if that is the case, she does. I mean, she's old a lot, but when I hear like people getting half and stuff, I'm not all right with it. I'm just not all right with it.
1997. You remember he had the Jerry curl and the tight suits.
That's what I said. That situation is a little different.
Well,
like she's old a lot. She's old a lot. But I mean, in this, I think in California though, man, it's like you could be married a year and then you owe half. Those are the challenges that I have. Like, I mean, I could be wrong. It might not be a year, but
I don't see the uproar in that neither. It's like, okay, you gotta give her half, because you still gonna be making money. If you you
don't know. No.
If it's in a contract that she gets half of what this is, and anything extra I make, she can't get or he can't get.
Yeah, and the spouse's argument is that the other spouse owes them to maintain the lifestyle that they had while they were with them, and that's her argument. And that was the argument of Mary J. Blige's ex.
Oh yeah.
See, I think now that's the part that I think that the laws haven't changed. At one point when women got married, women couldn't work. And
Yeah.
because we couldn't work, that's where alimony. As a woman who was alimony, it wasn't because I couldn't financially take care of myself. It's that no, you owe me for what we've put into this marriage together. If you're making a certain amount of money. And that's what he owed her. He owed her that.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
How much is Jeff Bezos' wife making?
Shit. But see, you know what? This is where I say that I don't want to hear nothing about like rich people problems. Because that's rich people problems. When you
rich man,
I mean,
I'm here. I'm here. We can talk. I'm here. We can possibly talk about a prenup, maybe. I don't know. It depends on how much you have, how much intellectual properties that I give. But I'm here.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, we gonna revisit this at a later date when we do another long relationship.
Please no.
And it's not gonna be boring. All right, so disgraced singer R. Kelly. Oh gosh. He is facing some new allegations that it just comes under no surprise to me. So federal prosecutors in R. Kelly's sex trafficking case, they claim that he had sexual contact with the underage boy and wants that information to be heard by the jurors in his trial. So according to reports, prosecutors rolled out these new allegations in a court filing last week, but they have not added new criminal charges. But they're saying a 17-year-old boy who was an aspiring musician, he met R. Kelly at a McDonald's in 2006. R. Kelly allegedly invited him to the studio and asked him what would he do to make it in the industry. So, you know, it led to him engaging in sexual contact with the boy when he was a minor. And the boy introduced Kelly to his male friend who also was a minor. And Kelly allegedly had sex with the other male friend several years later. And R. Kelly allegedly, I'm saying alleged because this is alleged, but at this point, but R. Kelly recorded the two boys in sexual encounters with other people, including some of R. Kelly's girlfriends at the time. But as you know, R. Kelly has denied all of these allegations, and he said that he hasn't abused anyone. So are y'all surprised at these new allegations?
No.
I'm
sorry.
Yo,
I didn't mean to say it like that. No.
When you get into Hollywood, I'm not surprised at anything in Hollywood, man. I heard some stories. I mean, from the, I don't want to get into the conspiracy theories, but from the quote unquote idea of the Illuminati and the so-called secret societies within Hollywood and music, man, I'm definitely not surprised.
Same here. And I think, and not that this has anything to do in regards to the baby's comment or story, but this is what I'm saying. Like certain people who probably have those hidden fantasies or ignorance sometimes spew certain things that it's like, what you mad about? You look at them a little perplexed and sideways, like you saying that comment because you really interested. You know what I'm saying? So, but I heard those rumors about R. Kelly. So yeah, but what you just said, see, in regards to the baby probably want to get with a little Nas X type of thing.
I'm not going to assume that. I'm gonna just say that it might have just been he misspoke. He probably was in a moment. I don't know, man. Like,
okay. All of us.
This is wild. This is wild, man. Like this, the whole industry is wild. Like this, I don't put nothing past anyone. Period. Stuff I seen, I don't even want to go because I'm in fashion. I seen some things, so I'm just saying. And yeah, man, like it's. I seen some things.
Yeah, I think they're gonna put R. Kelly under the jail.
Yeah,
Like
I
he
think
never gonna see the light of day.
he got a target on his back now anyway. But
Yes, yes.
yeah,
And honestly, he's definitely a musical genius,
yeah,
and it's sad.
and I think what's even more challenging is even if he was innocent with those little boys, it's a stigma around him, right? It's already this situation around this cloud around him that I mean now it makes you think, maybe, and it's probably not even true. I don't know, but it's a shame. Damn, R. Kelly.
Yeah,
I wasn't a fan. I was never a fan of R. Kelly, but I just I wasn't. I'm serious. I wasn't. I like some of his songs, but I always thought he ripped off Aaron
oh
Hall,
yeah.
and so I've never like from that point. I was like, this cat is corny, man. I don't know. So it is what it is. Man.
I can't with you. All right, so our Celebrity Sizzle Award of the week goes to our forever president Barack Obama. He is not letting any grass grow under his feet. He is doing big things nationally and internationally, and this is why we continue to love him. So, according to NBA.com, President Obama is helping to advance the NBA's social responsibility efforts in Africa as he partners with NBA Africa to bring programs there and support gender equality and economic inclusion. Obama is said to have a minority equity stake in the venture, which he's going to use to fund his Obama Foundation Youth and Leadership programs. NBA Africa is focused on expanding the NBA's presence in priority African markets. But President Obama said the NBA has always been a great ambassador for the United States, using the game to create deeper connections around the world and in Africa. Basketball has the power to promote opportunity, wellness, equality, and empowerment across the continent. By investing in communities, promoting gender equality, and cultivating the love of the game of basketball, I believe that NBA Africa can make a difference for so many of Africa's young people. And I'm super excited about that because, not only do we want to see, our African brothers and sisters do well here in the United States, we want to see them do well in the motherland. Okay, so I'm your girl Lauren Sizzle. Before I let my sizzle before I fade on out, I just want to make sure y'all go ahead and like, comment, and share this video. Make sure y'all subscribe, click the button, the red bell, so you can get the notifications when we drop those videos. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit up our Cash App. $ We Talk Weekly. Yes, sir. Because that helps us do what we do. We want to do what we do. So shout out to my family, my We Talk Weekly family, and shout out to y'all for supporting us and holding us down. I'm your girl Lauren Sizzle, and that was the Sizzle.
And that was Sizzle, ladies and gentlemen. That's your boy Charles Gregory, the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle.
And the beautiful.
Classy Lady Sparkle.
And the beautiful.
Lily.
And we definitely in the house. This is We Talk Weeklies after the talk on WPPMLP, Philadelphia. 106.5 FM We Talk Weeklies after the talk. And we definitely had a dynamic show. A lot of conversation. A lot of opinions and a lot of conversation that needs discourse. just because someone has a difference of opinion doesn't necessarily mean you have to dislike that person. We don't have to always prove that you're wrong just by virtue of you don't agree with me. And I think society, the world, right, is, caught up in the if I don't agree with you, then you're wrong and there's something wrong with you. Not necessarily I don't agree with you and, that's your opinion. Just keep it moving. I think we need to start thinking like that, I don't have all the answers, but what I do know is that there has been a lot of issues and drama and wars and fighting and, debates just because somebody didn't agree with you or your opinion. And so we just have to start thinking a little differently when we have those conversations now. And when somebody don't agree, I guess that's where I'm at with it. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to agree with me because I know I won't always agree with you. But you don't have to necessarily start a war because you don't agree with somebody. And that's what begins to start happening. And I see it all the time, especially with our these different communities. And I seen a lot of arguing and debates, especially when it comes to, the whole Asian hate situation in our people, and that was real conflict, and I've seen a lot of that, and we just have to be a little bit more open-minded, I think, when it comes to the differences and different cultures too, and say, hey, that's y'all, that's not me, y'all do y'all keep it over there per se, and I stay over here. I won't, stick my nose into y'all business, so to speak, and I don't want y'all to stick y'all nose in my business. Let me be me. Let me be who I am and be that freely, and not want anybody to hush me or silence, or take my agency away from me. And that's where the challenges become: people taking away each other's agency. And so we just have to do better with that.
I agree, see. Yeah, you could agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Seek understanding, because your perception is not another person's perception. What you see through your lens is truly not always reality. Even though some people only see black and white, gray does exist. If I look at the sky and I see blue, you'll see teal. It's neither one is wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
people need to just mind your business, okay? Mind your business.
yeah, at times. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
right.
And so, man. And so, we just gotta get it together. Definitely have to get it together, man, and see what we can do. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, continue to like, subscribe, and share. It's good to hear that somebody across, the country or somebody internationally is listening and watching and downloading and being a part of our podcast, downloading our podcast. I love to see that. And if you're somewhere else, in a nation, let us know where you come from. Let us know where you are, so we know and we can shout you out. I would love to know where some of our viewers and watchers are coming from. We know that we have, Philadelphia. We know that we have New York, Jersey. We know DC. We know Virginia, VA. We know Florida. We know LA, Cali. We know certain places, right? But when it comes to going across internationally, I would love to know where some of you guys come. It looks like Lady S. Dot is here. Let's bring her in.
Let me find y'all.
Hey, Lady S.
Hey, Sizzle.
What a warm welcome. I feel so special. How's everybody doing?
We miss that beautiful face.
Yeah, you cute.
We need we gotta set up a I know COVID and we still restricted professionally, but personally we need to have a get together just so we can be around each other.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That energy, it's a different energy when that you feed off of when you actually in the same room and amongst the people that you care about. So
Agree.
I'm yearning for that from y'all. Maybe a barbecue is coming up. It's still summertime.
Yes.
So what you doing? You coming to me right now, see?
Mm-hmm. Yes, he put it all on you.
All right, so I'm your girl, Lady S. We're gonna jump into We Talk Sports. So the big story this week is coming from the Olympics with gymnastics superstar and defending Olympic champion Simone Biles withdrawn from the Thursday's individual all-around competition at the Tokyo Games to focus on her mental well-being, as she put it. Now, Biles is 24. She already has a ton of medals and accomplishments. Topped qualifying on Sundays despite piling up mandatory deductions on vault, floor, and beam following shaky dismounts. She lost herself in midair and completed 1.5 twists instead of 2.5. She consulted with U.S. team doctor before walking off the field of play. She said, once I came out here to compete, I was like, no, mentally is not there. I just need to let the girls do it and focus on myself. Biles said following, this was after the medal ceremony. But USA Gymnastics said in a statement on Wednesday, we wholeheartedly support Simone's decision and applaud her bravery in prioritizing her well-being. Her courage shows yet again why she is a role model for so many. Simone's sponsors have also been publicly vocal about their support for her decision and, putting her first putting herself first. When I first saw headlines coming up about her sponsors, I was concerned that because there were, in addition to all the great things that we're hearing, there's a lot of negative backlash and a lot of negative things that we're hearing too. So I was like, oh, don't tell me sponsors are going to start pulling out because of this, but they didn't. And they're completely supportive. And honestly, it would probably hurt those sponsors more if they did something like that than to actually be on board with her. So I'm glad they are supporting her right now.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, Stace. Like if they would have said, that we're what they do when they cut people off.
Oh yeah, we've seen it so many times when they start pulling out, and because at the end of the day, it's about their bottom line. And if they feel like they're associated with anything, any person, any brand that's going to affect their sales, they're going to pull out quick, fast, and in a hurry. But in this case, they didn't, and they made sure they came forward and talked about how they're supporting her. And it's been like a huge flow of just support for her. Emotional, still congratulating her, saying what a great, athlete she is, and still, the best, yada, yada, yada. But of course, meanwhile, there's always some negativity lurking in the background. And Texas Deputy Attorney General apologized today for calling Simone Biles a national embarrassment. Now, how's that?
No, he didn't.
And the crazy thing is that I thought about what if she would have just went ahead with it? It's kind of like, if I'm like this, say Muhammad Ali, if he knows his next fight that he's not going to do good and he fights, and it's like you going out, say if that's his retirement fight and that's the last fight he's ever going to fight, and he's going out with this major loss or whatever, who wants to go out like that? That could have just really ruined her whole career and everything, because she probably might not have gotten back. Like some people, it kills them. They don't get back in the saddle. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. And I don't know what it was for me, because I was watching and I was like, oh, she's on, so it was like, let me zone in, and I wanted to check it out. And looking at her kind of sit off on the sideline because she went, I think, kind of last, and other people were going before her. And they, because it's, she's the big deal, they kind of kept the camera on her as, she was watching everybody else, and she was, big cheerleader for them. But in between those moments, she just looked to me disconnected. And I was like, oh, she and I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, sometimes I interpret that as athletes, maybe they're just mentally preparing. Maybe she's just really thinking hard, trying to get into it. But sometimes it's that, and sometimes it can be other be able to admit that my head is just not there. And I don't really care what other people are saying. Gymnastics, if you don't know what you're doing, you can hurt yourself really bad. They're trained and they're professional, but if your head is not there and you're not thinking clear, one wrong miscalculation, and she could have an injury that could take her out forever. So it's good to just make sure you know that your head is in the game and you're performing those things.
Yeah. No, I was saying no, that's absolutely right. And I wasn't thinking of it in the way of, like she may be embarrassed or something. I'm thinking of like anytime you are in a high impact sport, your head has to be in the, if you're not in there, you can seriously hurt yourself. You can get paralyzed. She can paralyze. There's stories of gymnasts paralyzing themselves or having a life-threatening injury that they can never come back from. And you're talking about someone who's doing, first of all, you're talking about an athlete who's doing something that nobody else on the planet can do because she's just that talented, right? That she's so skilled that you have the athletics commission pretty much saying, well, we have to pretty much rate you different. We're not going to give you the scores you deserve. We're going to just give you certain scores. I mean, you're talking about somebody who have to deal with all that. The princess of pretty much sports right now, the poster child of women empowerment.
Yes.
You're talking about somebody who has to have all this, who's carrying all of, she is the Floyd Mayweather of gymnastics.
Yeah.
You're talking about somebody who is a GOAT, pretty much. Not even pretty much. You're talking about probably the greatest athlete gymnast of all time.
Right.
That has to carry this burden and perform to a degree that's going to be okay to her fans and viewers.
Right.
Can you imagine how much pressure that is before she go on and perform?
Oh, it's
Can
definitely
you imagine it?
You know,
a lot of pressure, and she alluded to that. Sorry, Spark. She alluded to that with a text a tweet that she tweeted saying that she felt like she had the world on her shoulders.
Yeah,
because everybody's looking at her.
It's almost like going to a job and you go to work every day for 20 years and you call out one time. She ain't never did this before. She got all these medals that represent America in artistic gymnastics. And now she does this one time and they giving her grief. Where they do that at? She ain't got nothing to prove. And now y'all not gonna support her. Come on.
Exactly. Like y'all sit home in the leisures of your home. Don't do that.
Yeah. But that's my point. I'm like, when has Simone Biles, and this is a question I'll even ask y'all, as long as you know Simone Biles as being a gymnast, when has she ever let anybody down? You'll be hard pressed to try to think of a time because she never has. This is the first time she was like, you know what? I just need to just fall back for a minute.
Yeah.
And I just felt bad because it was pretty much our people who was beating her up. Saying like, I mean, I don't know. I just felt bad. I just felt bad for her. She never let anybody down. She always pulled through and came through. This is what she does. She has always made everybody happy all the time. Did everything that everybody said, everything that everybody wanted her to do. She don't even do any. She didn't. Never heard her smoking weed. Never heard her arguing. In fact, all you have heard her do is uplift everybody else. Yeah. There's one moment that she's asking for people to uplift and support her, have her back. She can't even get that.
And one of the things I did love about her is she had to deal with Nike, and she left Nike and went over to Athletic, the other company, and she said one of the reasons she made the switch was because the other company was more aligned with her personal goals and values as a woman in terms of the things that they did, the things that they supported, and the things that they backed. And a lot of those things are areas that uplift other women that look like her. You know what I mean? And that support. Wow. So she's like, they're putting a lot of their money and their backing behind the things that I'm morally, that are based on, you know, that are my morals. So I feel like this is the company I should be with. Now, who do you know? Now, again, that's how you know somebody that has that is just a good all around person, because you know what she's doing is not for money or is not for label or whatever. Because this other company may not be as big, and you know who's going to leave Nike. Because of their morals. No, they worry about, you know, because people worry about the money. So, you know, and she's constantly being supportive of others all the time. So I would just like it a little bit if that same sentiments was happening with her right now, because everybody goes through things. Just because you're an athlete doesn't mean you don't have other things going on in your life. And her head needs to be on straight for the type of things that she's doing. Not to say that one sport is greater than the next, but her sport is a lot more dangerous than some others. So
not only that, I just want to expound upon that. Not only is her sport more dangerous than others, right? Not to minimize any other sport, but you're talking about somebody who 5 times build upon the danger with the tricks and acrobatics that she does. Like, people are not thinking about that. We're not talking about just the average somebody doing a twist in the air. You're talking about somebody doing 3 twists in the air.
Yes.
Like, that's compounded upon just the average. This is what this young lady is doing. And it just blows my mind that people are not thinking of it in that manner. They're just saying, "Oh, she just, you know, when I was in high school, I used to practice with a hurt leg."
Yeah. And those are some of the things that people are saying. It's like, wow, you know,
it's wild. It's wild.
It is. It's really wild. And one of the comments I read was, you know, athletes go through stuff like this all the time. Running away doesn't make you courageous. It makes you a coward. So all the stuff that I've been seeing online has been crazy. Okay. Absolutely crazy. I mean, Candace Owens, she's always got something on her. She was throwing shade, and it's been a lot. But listen, here at We Talk Weekly, we just like to wish Simone Biles the best in her mental health recovery. Right. You know what I mean?
And I want to say this also, like, the fact that pushing through, we're used to doing that. That's not to say that pushing through is always the right thing to do.
Yeah,
we normalized saying, "Oh, well, you got a broken leg, just keep pushing through the broken leg." Like that, you know, people who have done that has broken legs that healed, and they're not right.
Yes.
Right? People who have seen a broken leg and stopped, their leg healed correctly. And so with certain things that we need to think about that we used to normalize and say is okay, that isn't really the best thing to do.
No. To push it up, the push through and suck it up, and you know, all that stuff. We hear it so much.
Yeah.
We do. But we also know, even with these athletes, who, like you talking about a physical injury, you come back too soon and you don't let that heal completely, then you know you make it worse. And she's doing stuff, like you said, see, that's never been done before.
Never done before.
She's doing stuff that's never been done before. How can anybody else who's never done what she's done know what it takes mentally to do what she does? Yes. So if her mental is not right, you don't know what her mental state is. You don't know what it takes for her mentally to push through that stuff, to get through it. And if she knows herself well enough to know, I shouldn't do this because I'm not okay, that's what you have to go off of. We know our body better than anybody else.
Yeah, man. I just felt bad because she's doing things that we can't even. She's doing things that's so out of the norm they can't even judge it.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing to compare it to. That's what I said. She is arguably, I wouldn't even say arguably, she is the greatest gymnast of all time. Even above the men. I haven't even Like it's just nuts. Like Simone Biles she's a what they call a unicorn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
She's a unicorn.
So U.S. Ended up they claimed silver behind Russia in the Olympic Committee, and since Simone withdrew, Sunisa Lee took home the gold medal. So congratulations to her. So yeah, I'm happy for her. She was saying that it didn't feel real to her, and she couldn't believe that she was even there. She was really emotional and really grateful. Yeah, really grateful. So I have honorable mention for this going into this basketball. So
hold on 1 second. Let me make sure. I'm pulling up the. I'm just getting ready. Go ahead.
Okay, so I want y'all. All right, I'm not there yet. See, because listen, have you guys heard of San Diego Splash? San Diego Splash is a women's basketball team where you have to be at least 80 years old to play. So this basketball team is of women who range in age from 80 to 91 years old. They play against other teams in San Diego Seniors Women's Basketball Association, which welcomes players 50 years and older. But it's 80 to 91 to be on this particular team. And they said if you can stand up and move your legs, you're welcome. So the San Diego Splash is the oldest team in the league, and while they don't win often against the much younger teams, they are clearly having the time of their lives. So Grace Larson, who's 91, said, growing up, we didn't have sports like the girls do today. We didn't have the opportunity to play. So for as long as I can, I'm going to play. So I just want to give it up for the San Diego Splash. Because I said, this is amazing. And if you guys get time, Google them, check out some of their videos and watch these ladies hoop. Okay?
I love it.
So
who's the owner? Is it an owner?
I don't even know who the owner is. The teams play 3-on-3, half court with 15-minute halves, and a 30-minute game. The league hosts 4 seasons, which run for approximately 8 to 10 weeks per season.
Wow.
San Diego Splash.
I love it.
Yes, let me tell you, you got some people that's way younger than them that won't even get up off their couch because they lazy, okay? And this is an all-women's team. So go ladies. I'm proud of them.
That's why you should never give up on your dream.
Exactly. So big day today in the NBA for NBA fans. Tonight is the 2021 NBA draft, so be sure to check out who your favorite team selected. A lot going on there. And there's also a ton of trades happening with one of the biggest one today. Russell Westbrook is now a Los Angeles Laker.
Oh, wow.
You didn't know that, Charles?
Nah. Jeez.
He done pulled it up.
Oh, they go to San Diego Splash.
So
two of them call themselves the Splash Sisters. Don't you love it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh. Oh. I love it.
Wow.
They're so cute.
Love it.
That's
fun.
Isn't it?
Oh, she meant business with that foul shot. She was getting ready made.
So tonight with the NBA draft, they did something a little different this year. So they had allowed the players to walk out with two family members of their choice. So a lot of the guys were coming out with their mom and dad or their siblings and stuff like that. And then Terrence Clark, who entered the draft and was NBA pick, actually passed away at the age of 19 due to a fatal car crash. But tonight it was a very emotional ceremony. His mom and his sister was there. And I think it was his little brother, was a kid there. And they still went through the entire ceremony, called his name, did the pick, and his mom, and then went up and they put hats on them and they got to accept it. His mom was super emotional. And everybody had pictures and stuff of him up. So Terrence Clark, NBA draft, going too soon.
I know that's just devastating for those parents. It's like you expecting that, your child to make it, they're making it, and you never had to worry about them struggling financially and then that.
Yeah. Is it? So there's a ton of, aside from the draft tonight, there's a ton more trades that's happening right now. You know, after the finals, which didn't go the way any of us thought it was going to go. but shout out to Giannis a lot. So watch out for the NBA to see what's going on there. And the same thing in Major League Baseball. So the Dodgers finalized Sanchez Turner deal. The Yankees acquire all-star slugger Rizzo from the Cubs. And the Dodgers also acquired veteran LHP Duffy from the Royals. And I'm your girl, Lady S. Dot, and that's We Talk Sports.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's We Talk Sports, and we right on time. We gotta go, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Charles Gregg with the beautiful.
Lauren Sizzle.
And the beautiful.
Classy Lady Sparkle.
And the beautiful.
Lazy ass Sizzle.
And the beautiful.
Lily.
And we gotta go, ladies and gentlemen. WPPMLP, Philadelphia, 106.9 FM. We talk weeklies after the talk, and we out here like last year. Peace.
So